Welcome, my dear students, my dear sophomores, to Unit 2 of History 1, in which we'll be covering the Bronze Age. But before we start off with that, we need to be clear, what is prehistory? That's something we definitely need to have clearance on. So, as you can see here in this document, prehistory. Prehistory is the period of time before the Romans arrived in AD 43 or 43 AD. Anno Domini, for that's what AD stands for. In relation to the rest of our history, the prehistoric era makes up 99% of our past. That's why it's super important to know this, what it means and all, because practically it all started off in these three periods of times, or also known as ages. Some of the best known monuments. This document is taken from the British Archives of History and all archaeological history. So that's why we are taking Britain here as a clear example. So some of the best known monuments in Britain were built during this time, including Stonehenge. I'm pretty sure that's we're all familiar with that monument, prehistoric monument. Very, very famous, by the way. Prehistory is split into three main categories based on developing technologies and materials they used. So we have what is known as Stone Age right here. So that kind of ranges from 12,000 BC before Christ to 2000 BC. That's basically the timeline of this first main category, Stone Age. We also have what we'll be looking into Unit 2, which is the Bronze Age right here, roughly from 2000 BC to 800 BC. And finally, our last category or age is the Iron Age, which roughly is from 800 BC to 43 AD. The Bronze Age comes after after the Stone Age, but before the Iron Age. We also have this chart over here of the Paleolithic period, the Mesolithic period, and of course the Neolithic period, which is what we were looking into in our first unit and all. Basically, the first humanoids and early settlements and all. So that was the Paleolithic, the Mesolithic, and the Neolithic, which kind of consisted of the Stone Age, the early Stone Age, middle, and late Stone Age, my dear students. But let's tackle the Bronze Age, which is something that we're definitely interested now for this second unit. All right, the Bronze Age. Well, what is it? The Bronze Age was the time from around 2000 BC to 700, roughly 700 BC, when people, as it says its name, used bronze. In the Stone Age, flint of sharp gray stone, pointy stone, was shaped and used as tools and weapons. But in the Bronze Age, stone was gradually replaced by bronze. Bronze was made by melting two different materials, tin and copper. By melting and blending these two, two metals. Mixing them together, you got what was known as bronze. It was poured into molds to create useful items. Right over here. Here are some examples of an early Bronze Age axe, a middle Bronze Age palliative, and a late Bronze Age scotted axe. Later groups had their own bronze smiths to make their bronze tools, while everyone else had to go traveling. Bronzesmiths. The traveling bronzesmiths would set up camp near a settlement and try to trade new bronze tools for old ones, food, and clothes. So, as you can see, my dear students, the Bronze Age brought us a new way of living. So, for the early hunter-gatherers during the Neolithic periods, now basically they were shifting into what is now the new lifestyle of agriculture and farming, which occurred during the Bronze Age. But we'll be taking a look at that a little bit later on in this unit.